government of Tamil Nadu, through its own efforts and through diaspora there, we paid to some students and then we evacuated them to the neighboring. Some of the students have come and expressed their anguish that the embassy people, mostly they speak in Hindi, and sometimes when they, after they have reached the neighboring countries, when they were to board on the flights, some discrimination was shown. Chief Minister himself was on a video call with the students and he was very much concerned. So first gesture he said was that he would bear all the costs.
That brought back close to 1900 students, Tamil Nadu students from Ukraine. How do you see the whole rescue operation in retrospect?
You mean whole of India?
No, sir. Tamil Nadu our rescue operation.
Of course, see, we had a number of around 2000 at the beginning. But later, after verification, we came to know that many are duplicated and many have re-registered. Some parents would have and the students would also have. So it came down to numbers 1921. That was the final number we arrived at. And after our mission and all the initiations taken by the Chief Minister, from the beginning, he was the first one to announce that all the expenses for the students would be borne by the government of Tamil Nadu. And so also he wrote letters to the External Affairs Minister and also spoke to him telephonically. And after that, the government of India itself came forward to evacuate them on their own. So that lessened the burden, but at the same time, we have to bring them back home from wherever they reach, whether it's Delhi or Mumbai. So what we did was, after we met the delegation was constituted, we met the External Affairs Minister and expressed our wish that we want to go to the neighboring countries, Poland, Hungary, Romania and Slovakia. And from there we can help rather. It's only to supplement the efforts taken by the government of India. We can see we have our diaspora there, Tamil diaspora in every country. They were talking to us over phone. So that would make us easy. See, at one point of time, when the students have to reach the neighboring countries, they had to hire buses. But they charged $500 for each student. They didn't have money, the ATMs didn't work, and even transfer of money was not possible. So government of Tamil Nadu, through its own efforts and through diaspora there, we paid to some students and then we evacuated them to the neighboring. That was the first step. And later, government of India itself started operating buses. And when things got worsened, the trains were also in trouble. So we suggested that we could be allowed to go to the respective countries, and from there we can do the operation. But the External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jayashankar Subramanian, he clearly explained what all the steps are taken by the Union government. And he also assured that the things will get changed. And he will update me on WhatsApp because I used to convey anything through WhatsApp and he will also reply in the same manner. And then we came to realize that earlier when around 1,000 or 500,000 were reaching India, only around 10 to 15 were Tamils. So after we proposed our desire to go there, he assured, and later the numbers increased to 100, 150, 200. So we decided to stay at Delhi, and we even we arranged some charter flights for them. 3, I think. We arranged charter flights and made them to reach Chennai very easily, and from Chennai to their respective destinations. Maybe flight is available, flight or else by car. We took care that they safely reach their doorstep, the home. That was ensured, and it went on. And another thing, you might have heard that some of the students have come and expressed their anguish that the embassy people, mostly they speak in Hindi, and sometimes when they, after they have reached the neighboring countries, when they were to board on the flights, some discrimination was shown. Some students expressed that. So it cannot be totally false, totally untrue. So when we represented to the minister, he said that won't happen. And he immediately called the officials and told that whoever may be in the embassy should talk both in English and Hindi. So that helped us a little to resolve the matter. So when the numbers started flowing, we were every day we would have a meeting of our team, my team, that the MPs and the officers, and we will evolve what to do further, how things have proceeded so far. And this we had some meetings with the students also. We had some interaction. Some I used to speak to them to energize, because they come from the war front and they were totally disturbed mind. It is unimaginable what they have come across. So we will cheer them up or encourage them that everything is okay. And one thing they expressed was about their future education, because they have come abruptly. It's natural and genuine also. So Chief Minister MK Stalin also immediately, I think he wrote to the government to do on this regard whatever is necessary, and he is also working on that, how to help the students from their studies getting not interrupted and not interrupted. So it started moving, and finally the Sumi students who were the last batch to come where war was at the peak, I think diplomatic level talks were held, and the Russian government very humanitarianly they announced the ceasefire. And see, even then the students one day they were asked to board on a bus, and again they were asked to go back to the bunkers. So imagine their mindset at that time.
One of your team members, rescue team members, Abdullah, he wrote in his Facebook post that you people spent sleepless nights for the past few days, and about so many phone calls from parents and also from students like that. Could you please elaborate more on
No,
that?
that's quite natural. When there is a crisis, those who are in trouble and those who are connected with them will automatically or obviously will get disturbed. So parents, by way of knowing that we are up in the mission, they call us at even orders, because they do not know when they are in grievance. We cannot blame them. Even in ordinary days, we get calls like that. So parents spoke and we consoled them, and students were also speaking, and they also sent some videos how what are the suffering they are undergoing. And there were some numbers we have stored like that, and when after even they have written, sir, come back, they said, sir, we were the person like that. So that is nothing, it's all in the game. We didn't mind that, but we were happy that we were able to keep them uh, in a good mood, not to get panic, not to get even the messages I typed to the students. I said, don't get panic, be cool, rather don't worry. We are taking all efforts to get you back. You will soon come back to your home, like that. We never said why you are unnecessarily calling. Never, it should not be at all. The Chief Minister himself was on a video call with the students, and he was very much concerned. So first gesture he said was that we would bear all the costs, and second said we did whatever we can do after they reach Delhi or Mumbai. And in Tamil Nadu house we gave them full comforts. And when some students will come with pet animals like dogs and cats, the dogs were not allowed in the commercial flights. The Air Force flight allowed, but commercial. So we arranged a first class coupe for them, and the pet animals were brought back to the.
So, as you mentioned, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin was so concerned about rescuing all the Tamil Nadu students from Ukraine, and he also presented the airport while welcoming the last batch of students yesterday. So, could you please tell us about his involvement, daily
I
follow-ups?
told him that the Sumi students, when they have arrived, almost all students have reached Delhi. And when I told him that we are bringing the last batch of students, I said, let me kindly allow me to bring them to your place, so that it would be energized for them. He asked that time. Then he said, I myself would come to the airport.
Yeah.
So that was a great gesture. First, many were said, how can we ask them like that? He said, he will. He is of that temperament, I know. Very much concerned towards that too after becoming Chief Minister. He is very much concerned.
What about the daily follow-ups and messages and those things?
Huh?
Daily follow-ups
By?
about the rescue operations. CM's involvement in that.
Yeah. See, he even went to the control room here, and he was in constant touch. I used to speak to him whenever it is necessary, or else I used to message him, which he would receive and reciprocate also, because he was in another commitments, very tight schedule and all. So when necessity warranted, I used to call him. He will immediately speak to me also. So he is very much, I think, not only concerned, is worried about the welfare of the people of Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So whatever is being done, he is doing here in Ukraine also. So the way, see, Tamil Nadu is the only government which has constituted a special team for that. And that team worked.
In what ways union government was facilitating your efforts?
See, I said no, they were taking some efforts. We supplemented on our part. As state government, we have got our own duties and responsibilities. So the embassy, we were in coordinating the ministry. And of course, they were doing their job very well. And we did our side, what we have to do. See, both the sides, basic intention is to bring back the students safely and at the earliest, before the war situation gets worse. So, Sumi, I was really disturbed because it is very near to Russian border. So, reaching Russia is very easy, but that would cause some other trouble. So, only via Ukraine they can, crossing Ukraine and then reaching the neighboring countries alone would help them. So, it was a great task. So, MEA, the Minister of External Affairs, was planning well. And we were also constantly in touch with some embassies there, diaspora, and some even that contractors who have already were responsible for taking the students there. They were also intermediaries. And many students only did what they told, whether to come out or whether to start, whether to stay, whatever they said they did. So all corners we were contacting, and Chief Minister was in contact with our team as well as to the minister, the union minister.
So in the press statement, it was mentioned that 31 students were there.
They have declined to come. They said they would prefer to stay there, hoping that the war would soon be over, or some other reasons, their personal reasons which we cannot probe into, and we cannot compel anyone. You have to come. So whoever offered to come, whoever asked our help, they were extended.
Okay. So as a long-time parliamentarian, what is the one lesson you learned from this whole rescue operation?
See, it is always that disaster, some natural disaster or crisis arises. Someone who is in power, someone who has some responsibility, has to rise to the situation. And Chief Minister did that very well. And so also we, the team members, we also realized the situation and acted as we should have. One thing, we never got disturbed. Another thing, we never got tensed or irritated. We were very cool because the other end was totally in trouble. So we on the rescue side should not get in any manner in any other mood or something. So we were very cool, handling it in the right manner, and everything was done.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.